Hey everyone, today we are going to be talking about should you summon for Blade. Now, Blade, we've gone over before, is really, really good. If you remember my initial thoughts on him when I saw a live stream, they weren't the greatest. I didn't think he would be, he's a high risk, high reward character. They talked about how he needed to lose health to be good, and that should immediately scare you. It immediately scared me. I mean, I thought about Arlen. I mean, I thought about how hard he would be to use, or like how hard he would be to maintain, and just like, is it ever worth it? He would have to do insane damage for something that to be worth it. However, we're lucky here because not only is he actually not that high risk, he is quite high reward. His scaling is quite crazy, with a lot of the scaling being from his max HP, which is kind of crazy for an attacker to have max HP and they're scaling for how much damage they do. He loses percent HP, right? But you could just heal it back and he won't have any problems with his damage. Being healed, being at high health doesn't make problems as long as you do it after he's already lost that health initially. Making something like Lochen setting up his field, excellent for Blade. Blade can lose some health, deal some damage, heal that back up, and there's not a problem at all. Because really the only thing that requires low health is his ultimate, and that is just accumulated over all the health he's lost to a max of 90% of his max HP, and then retallied after after you use it. And that doesn't mean that, you heal it back, anything goes away for his ultimate. And that's really, like I said, where all that damage, extra damage comes from, by actually losing health. So he's crazy. He's good. He's excellent. He's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. But does that mean you should summon for him? Well, we'll get into that right here. First, let's go over his banner. The best way I could get that was the Hoyo Lab overview thing here. So obviously there's himself, new character. He's destruction. He's wind. Those two things are actually going to apply on whether you should summon for him. However, their banner also is a good thing to look at. Oh, should you summon for a character? Sometimes some of their supporting units can help you really think if you want to do that, right? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I would say probably not. Probably not as far as his other featured units here, because you have Arlen, who is not very good. Arlen's not very good. The more damage dealers that are easier to use that come out in the game, the less good he's going to be. The more lightning characters that could deal damage that come out in the game, the worse he's going to be. And what do you know? The character after Blade is a lightning primary damage dealer, Kafka. So he's just going to keep getting worse. And he's not very good in the first place, which is the problem. Sushang isn't bad as, for, helping alongside other physical characters. She's not bad, but she's not great. She's good though. I would say she's overall good. Like I don't have her, but from what I've seen, it's like, yeah, she can be helpful, right? Which is the best thing you do for 4-star characters here is be helpful, which like Arlen isn't. She can be. Natasha is actually in a higher echelon of 4-star characters. She is really good. The more healers that are introduced to the game, obviously, she technically gets a little worse, but at the same time, she is a free-to-play healer who does a really, really good job. So she's good. I should say Natasha's great. Sushang's all right. Arlen sucks. But Blade himself is really, 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 really good. Now, Blade himself, I think, in a vacuum, just taking every character, not thinking too much about the future, which is not a good idea. You should be thinking about the future when you're thinking about whether you should summon for units. They do give us a whole, we do know what's coming in 1.3, right? They give us a really nice heads up, like a full updated time, so we can get a hint at what's coming, which will come into my should you summon for Blade here. But you think in a vacuum, he is good. Destruction is a very good typing, right? Destruction, if you want to think about it, it's a little bit more well-rounded bruiser type characters, right? They deal damage, but not as much as the Hunt. But they can take more damage than characters of the Hunt can. They aren't as squishy, but they're not as tanky as characters of Preservation, right? So usually somewhere in the middle. But they have good single target and good AoE abilities, which Blade has. They have really strong abilities that can really ramp up. They usually have no type of utility, which is really true. The only real, he has a little bit of utility, has a little bit of self heal. But and then like Clara, who's another like really good destruction character, right? She has like the damage reduction and like the aggro increase, right? So not too much utility that benefits themselves and not really the team, right? But Blade is really good. In a vacuum, he's excellent. In a vacuum, like, looking at exactly how it is, Wind is a little underdeveloped. Manya is a really good Wind character, right? But as far as, like, really good damage dealers, Wind is definitely limiting. However, there aren't a whole lot of enemies where I feel like, oh, I'm really missing out by not having someone who's dealing a lot of damage with Wind, right? However, that could easily change. We have tons of new difficult events coming out, so that could easily change. But destruction is a good path to follow. Wind is a decent type. We don't have a huge wind damage dealer, which needing that could definitely change really fast here. So in a vacuum, he's really good. In a vacuum, just looking at his stuff, I'd say he's like 5-star wise. He's top 3 for sure, easily. I would say I'll have to use him myself and get a better feel for him, but he is really, really good. And as far as damage dealers go, he's like second in the game, I would say. Like I said, I'm going to have to try him out. Zila's pretty crazy. Really, I'm doing him and Zila just off of information that I've seen, not really information using, but they are both pretty crazy. However, should you summon for Blade? I would say I don't think so. I would say probably not. For one good reason. What's coming in the future? If you're and you're a free-to-play player, this is assuming you yourself are a free-to-play player. Maybe you spend a little bit of money, maybe you buy the nameless honors, maybe use the express pass, but you are overall a free-to-play player. You are not spending money on Jade to get more summons, right? You're saving. You're a saver, right? You're a free-to-play saver person. Should you summon on Blade? I don't think so. And here's the reason why. I think you should be saving all of your Jade for 1.3 Part 2. Because you need to get Fushuan, another quantum character, and you need to save for Lynx, another quantum character coming out. Because I would say that most other people would agree with me, that Mono Quantum is going to become one of the craziest teams in the entire game. To the point where I would say it's going to be the best team in the entire game. However, that's due to having 2 other premium characters, those being Silverwolf and that being Zila. And that also means having the newest premium character in 1.3, Fushuan, and having Lynx, who is a 4-star, featured on the banner, right? So you have an insanely good chance getting her. But still, it is a heavy cost team, but that's why I would say save now so that you could get her at the end of 1.3 and get Zila and Silverwolf if you don't have them already, or maybe only have one when they return, because that will be the best team in the game. I bet my life that will be the best team in the game, because of Silverwolf's ability to implant weaknesses. And if you have a full quantum team, when she implants a weakness, it will guarantee to be quantum, which will benefit your entire team, and especially benefit Zila, an insane damage carry character. Silverwolf, who will give a lot of buffs in the way of debuffing the enemy. Fushuan, who is a preservation character, who will allow the entire team to be tankier. And then, of course, Lynx, who is an abundance character, who can help keep you guys healed. So I can't see how that wouldn't be the best team in the game, and I cannot recommend a free-to-play player to summon on Blade. He's cool. He's one of the coolest characters they have in the entire game, easily. What do you know? He's got the cheat code, right? He's a cool anime hot boy swordsman who dresses it all in dark. He's cool. Everyone knows he's cool. It's a cheat code, right? But I just, as cool as he is, I can't recommend you guys summon on him because there's just better things coming, and it's not that far in the future. And if you already have either Zila or Silverwolf, if you have either of those or both, and you summon on him, you're being quite foolish. I would say you're being quite foolish. But that's just my, that's what I think. Obviously, at the end of the day, even if you're a free-to-play player and you're just, like, I want to summon for cool characters that I like to look at, then of course it's a totally different story. But if you're a free-to-play player trying to build a really good account and be able to do everything and be the best you can, I would say don't summon for Blade, even though he's really good. All right, well, that's my opinion on Blade here and his banner. I would say do not summon, do not touch. Of course, I don't even need to say his light cone. You don't summon for the light cone unless you already have the character, and if you're a free-to-play player, summon for light cones, you are a silly goose. You are a silly goose. As good as they are, obviously, I still see people in comments surprised at how good the light cones are for the characters. Like the premium light cones are. It's like, yeah, they're designed for the characters. Like, you got to realize that, right? The Blade thing isn't like, oh, that's okay for Blade, but this is going to be really crazy on Don Hung, actually. He's a destruction. This is going to be really crazy on Clara, actually. right? Like, that's not going to happen. It's meant for Blade. It's good for Blade. Next up, I just want to share with you, there is on Game 8, which is a lovely website. I love this website for so many different video game stuff. But they have a simulation poll. So I did it until I got Blade. Only took 40 pulls. Technically $105, assuming you don't have free to play currency. Only 6,400 Jade. So, I got him in this one. Let's see how long it takes me in the real game. Hee hee. This is just for fun. This is just fun. I'll have this in the comments if you, or in the description if you want to check it out. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Please do not summon on Blade if you are a free-to-play player taking your account seriously. I cannot recommend it. Save up for Quantum. It's just going to be too good. It's just going to be too good. And the more Jade you save, the more dupes you can get for Zilo when she comes back around. Because even with the information I have on Blade, I would still say that Zilo is the best unit in the game. But of course, after I try Blade out, that could always change. But Blade is quite crazy with it. That's for sure. All right. See you guys next time. That's all I got for you today. Bye-bye.